Hello everyone, and welcome back to DIY Bye, the series where I try to use up as much of my DIY supplies as possible before I say bye to Wisconsin and move across the country. This week we've got a whole range of projects. We've got super simple, like 2-minute thrift flips. We've got more complex, full-on sewing projects. There's a little something for everyone. All right, let's meet the contestants. First, this flowy tank top, which is cute, but if I lean over at all, my entire titties are out. Next, we have a sibling duo entry, this pajama set. Can they rise to the challenge of becoming daytime wear? Third, this Harley Davidson t-shirt, which I couldn't think of a clever line for, but here it is. Finally, this large piece of gold fabric. She's got the farthest to go, but she may also have the most potential. Alright, first up, this flowy tank top. My issue with this item is that you pretty much have to wear a cute bra or bralette with it to avoid flashing anyone, and I don't like wearing bras. So I decided to just take in the top hem so it would fit a little tighter around the chest and be more secure. To do that, all I did was try it on inside out, and then pin each side so it was like pinched in a little closer. I wanted to keep the really flowy shape though, so instead of taking in the whole thing, I just sewed diagonally outward from where we were taking it in towards the existing hem. Then I tried it on, and I did feel like taking it in on the sides made my boobs look sort of smushed. For some reason, I don't know how to explain it, I just didn't find it flattering. But I thought maybe a little gathering in the center would make it fit my chest a little better. So I marked how far down I wanted the gathering to go with a safety pin, and then just scrunched the fabric while I sewed a straight stitch right over it. I know it looks tiny, but that gathered part actually did make a huge difference. I am excited to show you at the end. Next up, we have contestant number 2, the pajama set. This is a thrifted pajama shirt, by the way. I do not know whose initials these are. I thrifted this set because I really liked the pattern, and the fabric was, of course, very comfortable, but I wanted to make it wearable for daytime. So you all are the judges. Let me know at the end if you think I pulled it off. Okay, so first thing, easiest flip in the whole video, I turned these pants into shorts. To do this, I just laid a pair of shorts I already liked the length of on top of these, and then just cut off about an inch longer than that for seam allowance. Also, keep those pant legs. You'll need them later. Then, just to make things nice and clean, we hemmed the edges, and that is literally it. Alright, our next piece in this pajama set, which is the main one I had in mind when I bought it, is like a 90s cami style crop top. So, my first step to figure out the length was just to trace the length of a different tank top I have that I like the length of. I just marked that distance from the bottom and then cut straight across with a little seam allowance. Then for the width, I again traced the width of that same tank top, marked it with pins, sewed it down, and then cut off the excess. Also, you guys, I am such a lazy sewer, and I have, thus far in my life, simply never bothered to go out and buy ballpoint needles for stretch fabric, and then I had a terrible time sewing stretchy fabrics and wondered why, like, what's not clicking? This time, I actually went out and bought ballpoint needles, and who would have thought? It worked so well. I feel so stupid for ever being like,
whatever, I'll just use the needles I have. It can't make that big of a difference.
I'm telling you right now, fellow lazy sewers, get the right needles for your fabric. Oh my god. Anyway, okay, next we used that ballpoint needle to hem the top edge, and we're using a zigzag stitch for all of this because it's stretch fabric. Alright, now it's time to make the straps. So, we are bringing back those legs from the pants and just cutting off an additional like 1.5 inches of each leg. Not to be confused with cutting off 1.5 inches of one of these legs. Don't do that. You need those. Then I cut them both open into nice long strips. Then to make them skinny spaghetti straps, first I folded each side in to meet in the middle, like this, and then I folded that in half, so the raw hems are sandwiched in the middle. I just did this in little sections, inch by inch, pinning as I went, until the whole strip was folded and pinned. Then I just sewed a zigzag stitch on top all the way down each strap, and we had 2 delicious spaghetti noodles. Finally, we just had to attach the straps. To make sure these were the right length, I positioned the strap where I wanted it in the front and then marked with chalk on the strap where I wanted to attach it and on the shirt where I wanted it to be attached. Really could have just pinned it. I don't know why I didn't do that for the front. Anyway, Then I just held the strap in place in front, but then I pulled the other end to the back until it fit snugly on my shoulder, and again, marked with chalk where on the strap I wanted to attach it and where on the shirt I wanted it to be attached. Finally, I pinned the straps in place, sewed each one down with 2 straight stitches across, and cut off the excess. And now, we have a cute little tank top. Finally, for my third piece, this might actually be the easiest. This one's equally easy with the shorts, probably. I just realized the remains of the top were actually still long enough to wear as a crop top. So I just hemmed the bottom of that too, and voila! Now we've got a 3-piece mix and match set. We are so stylish and trendy. Look at us go. Alright, next up we have this Harley Davidson t-shirt. This is my Harley Davidson biker look, by the way. Is it working? Do I look like a biker? Let me know. My struggles with this shirt are A, that it is cropped, but it's also long sleeve, which just never works out for me in any climate. I feel like I'm always too hot or too cold. And also, I personally really like the graphic on the back more than the graphic on the front. It's just a lot more my style. So, we are going to turn this into a tank top and turn the back into the front. I don't know what this was. Anyway, I had never done this before, but it was actually pretty simple. So because this graphic on the back is quite high up on the shirt, I knew it would have to be a pretty high neck top. So my first step was to trace the neckline from this high neck baby tee onto the back of the shirt and cut it out. Then for the armholes, I traced the armholes of that one same tank top that fits me well from before. And of course, I left seam allowance for all of these. At this point, I also cut the back and the front apart from each other. So here is our back turned front. And then I made a new back out of sleeves. First, I cut them both all the way open, which gave me 2 nice flat pieces of fabric, which I then cut down into rectangles and patched together. Now we have a nice big piece, and we are just tracing around at the front to make the back. But also, because I had to make the front piece so high cut, I made the straps a couple inches longer on the back piece just to add a little more length to the straps so it wouldn't be so high cut that I would have to wear it like this. Then I just had to hem the bottom of the front piece, and then I could attach the front and back pieces together at the sides and the straps, right sides together. Finally, we just hemmed the neckline and the armholes, and we were done. I know this is literally just like the most simple tank top ever, but it is truly filling a void in my life that I didn't even know was there. I really love it. I can't wait to show you. Finally, our last item, this fabulous shimmery gold fabric. Now, if you saw my How to Dress Like a Minju Kim Model video, you already know she was my inspiration for this dress. So I went for a sort of wide baby doll shape, and I gotta say, I'm really proud of this one too. I know I keep saying that, but I'm just like very happy with every project in this video. So, first, I traced a mini version of a much longer dress I have that has sort of the wide, flared out baby doll shape I was going for. I also made this piece a very mini length, like too short to actually wear as a dress, because I knew I wanted to add a ruffle to the bottom hem that would add several inches. I also wanted a square neckline, so for that part I traced the square neck of, you guessed it, that same tank top I've been using the whole video. Truly, my ride or die queen. Of course, I also left seam allowance around all these tracings, and as you have seen the whole video, by tracing, I do mean just like loosely cutting around the general shape. I also cut all that out through 2 layers of fabric, so I would have a front and a back, and then pinned the shoulders together so I could try on what I had, which does look like I'm a sandwich shop employee forced into one of those wearable signs, but it improves from here. Don't worry. At this point, I marked with chalk on my shoulders how wide I wanted the straps to be, and then just kind of estimated a general curved armpit shape to cut it out. Now I had a general shape that I liked, and we were ready to start sewing. The shoulder straps and sides were already pinned right sides together, so I just sewed them down with a straight stitch. And then, our last step before adding the ruffle, I just had to hem around the neckline and the armholes. For the neckline, I just made 2 little diagonal cuts at the corners so I could fold the fabric in and hem it. Then for the armholes, because those are a curved round shape and the fabric is very stiff, I just had to make little cuts into the fabric I was folding over to hem as I pinned it so that it would be more flexible and mold to the curved shape. Then, once it was all pinned down, I just hemmed around each armhole with a straight stitch. Now, finally, it was time to add the ruffle. To start, I needed a long strip of fabric that was twice the length of the width around the dress. To make it, I cut out 2 shorter strips because I did not have enough fabric to make one strip that long, and then just attach the strips together at one end. Okay, after quickly just hemming one long side of that whole strip, it's time to turn it into a ruffle. For this, I did my usual ruffle technique, which is to pin one end of the ruffle strip to one side of the dress hem, then pin the midpoint of the strip to the other side of the dress hem. Then I just found the midpoint on the strip between the two pinned points and pinned it down to the midpoint on the hem. Then I just kept finding the midpoint on the strip between two pinned points and pinning it down until it was all pinned and ruffled up. Then I did the exact same thing on the other side. I hope that description makes sense. Please tell me in the comments, because this is such a hard thing to describe and I feel like I never describe it well. So please tell me if you're like, no, I get it, or if you're like, yeah, no, you gotta figure out a different way to describe that. I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyway, okay, now that it is all pinned down, right sides together, it looks like this. I just sewed it all down along the edge with a straight stitch. Also, I had to sew the two ends of the ruffle strip together at some point. Apparently I didn't film that, but I assume I did it right before I sewed the ruffle down or right after I sewed the ruffle down. With that, we are all done with all 6 projects. These contestants really gave it their all, and I am so proud of each and every one of them. Let's see their final results, shall we? First up, this flowy tank top. This was a very small change, but it really does make a world of difference in how it fits, and now I feel like I can actually wear it comfortably outside on its own. Plus the little ruching just like updates it a little, makes it a little more 2022, a little trendier. Next up, our pajama set, which I think turned out so great as a matching set, but the pieces also really work styled on their own. I love the versatility of all of these pieces. I also could definitely still wear these as pajamas, and as a set they do kind of still look like pajamas, but not any more than most matching sets you would buy also look like pajamas, right? Next, our Harley Davidson t-shirt turned tank top. I am absolutely in love with this one. I think the placement of the graphic on the front looks really cool and sort of unique, and it's basic, but I love a cute basic tank top that feels sturdy and comfy, and this is it. I would also love to know if anyone tries something like this or tries any of these DIYs, and don't forget to send me a picture on Instagram if you do. Finally, our biggest project, the gold fabric turned baby doll dress. Not to brag, but I am very happy with this piece. I feel like I really brought my vision to life and constructed it decently well, and it was actually quite simple, but I think it has a really bold impact. I also think this is the perfect holiday party dress. Catch me wearing this to Christmas 2022 for sure. Please tell me in the comments your favorite project, who you think is the winning contestant. If you want to help me win as a contestant competing for the algorithm's attention, please do give this video a like, leave a comment, send it to a friend who you think might enjoy it, and of course, subscribe if you want to see more DIYs, outfit ideas, and general fashion inspo. I think if you enjoyed watching this video, you'll also enjoy this video that has 5 more DIYs that are more on the simpler no-sew end. And I heard if you like the video, leave a comment, send it to a friend, watch another video, and subscribe. All your clothes will suddenly become as comfortable as pajamas. That's a pretty good deal. That's worth it if you ask me.